Bienvenidos. Welcome to Latino Focus, the show that honors the presence of the Latino community here in San Jose. Today in our show, Raimundo Espinosa from Gardner Family Health Network will talk about the many services this great organization provides to the Latino community here in San Jose. Later, delicious flavors from Brazil, brought to us by Fogo de Chão, and we'll also learn about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with Claudio Franca at his martial arts studio. But now, let's open our show with the delightful samba dance and Samba Conmigo Studio. Adelante. Thank you again to Joana Vizcarra and the dancers from Samba Conmigo. Excellent performance. More on Brazil coming up soon, but now let's go learn more about Gardner Family Health Network with CEO Raimundo Espinosa. Raimundo Espinosa, Chief Executive Officer of Gardner Health Services.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being here with us, Raimundo.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate your time. So before we get started, can you share with us a little bit about yourself and kind of your trajectory in becoming the CEO of one of Santa Clara County's nonprofits, largest nonprofits providing health services?
Sure. I was raised in the Coachella Valley, in the town of Coachella. I was the son of a farm worker, but the time I came around, he had found a more steady job in a packing shed. And so it was I thought it was a challenging, but in a way a good life, but many tragedies in my family. Many of my siblings died by the young, 20, 28, 34, 61. My dad at 65, and so I think that kind of like was, especially when my sister died at 20, was kind of like the thing that pushed me into healthcare, into trying to succeed in that arena. I went to school 18 years in Coachella, and then came up here to Stanford University, and I received my BA in political science, and then I got my master's in public health hospital administration, specialty at UC Berkeley.
Great.
Yeah.
And how long have you been the CEO at Gardner Health Services?
Since 1986. I don't know how many years that is.
Dedicated quite a number of a number of decades there, but it's a great organization to be working for.
Absolutely.
Share with us what are some of the key services that Gardner Health Services provides in the community.
Well, first of all, we see about 60,000 people. We have what we call primary care, which is medical, dental, optometry, pharmacy, and then behavioral health, which is mental health, substance abuse. And then we have a WIC program, which is it's Women, Infant, and Children's program, which is a food supplement, health education program for low-income women.
Is that program available to anyone?
Yes, that qualifies. There are income guidelines. I think you have to be 185% of poverty, which is really low. In fact, about 90% of our 60,000 people are at 200% of poverty. That means a family of four making 45,000. I would say 60% are half of that, so 60% are at making 24,500.
24,500
for a family of four.
Okay.
And in order to qualify for Medi-Cal, you have to be at 100% of poverty, which is that 24/5 family of four. But I'd say 78% are Latino, and then we have, of course, about 8% white, and I think about 6% Asian Pacific Islanders, and then the rest are African American. But predominantly, we have like 10 sites. 7 are health centers. We provide services from Gilroy to Palo Alto. The majority of the services are either in the downtown East Side area
of San Jose.
And so, like I said, we provide a lot of service to folks who really need it.
What type of services, like medical services, does
well, we
the
help
clinics
the whole
provide?
range. It's mostly what they call outpatient, which is ambulatory. We try to prevent stuff, so we give immunizations, but there's also other things. If you have colds, flus, those types of things, we have a large dental program. We have optometry services. Like I said, we have a healthcare to the homeless program. We have, I think, go to about 10 different shelters and provide healthcare services to the homeless population.
Do people have to have their own private insurance, health insurance?
We take, that's one of the issues for us, is that we take people regardless of the ability to pay. We welcome their insurance, but if you look on the medical side, because we have 2 corporations, this is more general, but in our medical program, I'd say out of the 35,000 individuals that we see, maybe 18,000 are without insurance, which is challenging for us because we get about a quarter on the dollar. So a lot of our effort is to try to.
Who gives that quarter of the dollar?
We through
government grants.
Government grants, county grants. The biggest supporters, of course, have been the feds and the county. They really support us to a large degree as far as the uninsured, and many of our programs. In fact, and we have a large mental health program that deals with the elderly, kids, people coming out of prison to get them back into the community. We've had a Cambodian program that's, in my opinion, unique in that we work with them on the post-traumatic stress syndrome issues, and work at the temples and try to get people to have a better life. And I think that's our philosophy. It's not about healthcare necessarily. It is, but it is, and it's a means. So I think for us, it's more of a keeping people healthy, mind and body, so that they can hopefully achieve their dreams. And I think that's what our focus is.
I understand that you have a mobile clinic that travels throughout the community to provide services. Can you share a little bit about that?
Of course. So like I said, we have different sites. Many are here in the downtown area, but we do go to Palo Alto once in a while, and we do go to Gilroy and some of the labor camps, and it's a mix of patients. But what we try to do is provide services out there and then refer them to our clinics if they need further help. But we try to go out there to hopefully get access, because I think some people are apprehensive about
seeking medical help.
Seeking medical help.
So you at the mobile clinics, you provide kind of basic.
It's what they call
education.
It's like services that you may need that you haven't gone to. If we find something more urgent, we work with the county to get you more specialized care if you need it.
Do you accept now that the Affordable Health Care Act is going to be online? You take those insurance providers?
Yes, we do. We have a contract with Valley Health Plan at Santa Clara County to provide services to those who may qualify. The other benefit is that the Affordable Care Act also increased the number of people that could become eligible for Medi-Cal. Before the Affordable Care Act, Medi-Cal was mostly for women and children. The Affordable Care Act increased the income levels, so they went from 100% of poverty to 133, and then they're targeting the adults now to a greater degree, and that's helped us to some degree because The Medi-Cal helps us. They're our best payer. Most people don't necessarily want to see the Medi-Cal, but we do because they're our best payer. The challenge is that we have so many still remaining uninsured that are not covered by the Affordable Care Act that we still have to make the effort to find other funding to continue to provide the service. The issue, I mean, for many people, I mean, the staggering statistic is that there's 440,000 individuals in Santa Clara County that are 200% of poverty and below. And people don't understand that, but that's a quarter of the population that are, like I said, a family of four making 45,000. And so there is a big need, and they have to make choices. So many times, even when we still see the uninsured, our docs work and say, well, can you come in this week, or do you need to pay something? Do you need to get your medicine, or do you need to pay rent? Can you afford the transportation? I mean, so it's a challenging situation for many of the folks out there.
Raimundo, thank you very much for coming on to our show and sharing about your organization. Very valuable information, especially for some of our viewers who may be interested in seeking some of your services. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
And later, delicious flavors from Brazil from Fogo de Chão. But before that, let's go with our financial expert, Marcos Lira, for a new tip.
I'm Marcos Lira, a certified financial planner, and today I'm excited to be talking about retirement options. I hope you're sitting down for the following statistic. According to a recent report by the National Institute of Retirement Security, 4 out of 5 Hispanic households have less than $10,000 in retirement savings. There are many options to save for retirement, but today I'm going to talk about the two most common ones, the 401k and the individual retirement account, otherwise known as the IRA. These type of accounts allow you to put away pre-tax money, allow the money to grow tax-free, and once you're ready to retire and start pulling money from these accounts, the amount that you pull is taxable. The other version of this type of account is the Roth 401k and the Roth IRA, and they work in the opposite way. You put away after-tax money into these accounts. They also grow tax-free, but once you're ready to retire and start pulling money from these accounts, it's tax-free. For those of you who have already been saving for retirement, challenge yourself to increase the amount you're putting away. So are you currently saving for retirement? If so, what type of account or accounts are you saving in? Let me know on Twitter at MHLira. Until next time, and remember, invest in today to enjoy your dividends tomorrow.
I'm here with flavors from Fogo de Chão. But before we take a bite, let's learn more about the country.
Brazil, the largest Portuguese-speaking country in the world, and the only one of the Americas, was inhabited by numerous tribes prior to the founding of explorer Pedro Álvares Cabral in 1500, who claimed the land for Portugal. And on September 7, 1822, Prince Pedro helped declare independence from Brazil. While Brazil has shifted through many different forms of government, it currently is a federation. The largest export of Brazil is coffee. Music is very important to Brazil culture, such as styles as choro and bossa nova. Samba is a very popular dance and musical genre that has become a symbol of the Carnival of Brazil, which is a huge holiday filled with celebration and musical parades. Brazil is mostly tropical and contains breathtaking sights, such as the Chapada Diamantina, Iguazu Falls, and Sancho Bay. The capital of Brazil is Brasilia, but it is Rio de Janeiro that contains one of the new 7 wonders of the world, Christ the Redeemer. Much like the American flag, each star on the Brazilian flag represents one of its states, although there is one extra star for the federal district. Their placement represents the night sky over Rio de Janeiro in 1889. Whether you go for the culture, the sights, or the history, there is much more to discover in Brazil.
Gerardo and Chef Mario, thank you for being here with us today in our show to talk about Fogo de Chão.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So tell us about your restaurant and I understand that you opened up your first location here in Northern California.
Yes, we just opened about 6 months ago in Santana Row, and we are an authentic Brazilian steakhouse where we feature 17 different cuts of fire-roasted meats. They're all carved tableside, and we have a variety of salad options for vegetarians and for meat lovers too, you know. Also.
Great. So share with us, you have some beverage right here.
Yes, so right here we have our caipirinha, which is well known in Brazil. We take an entire lime, we add sugar, we then muddle that. We then use a Brazilian spirit called cachaça, which is made from sugarcane. They distill the sugarcane, and it's a very nice, refreshing drink. Really unique to Brazil, and it's what the Brazilians drink during the whole time of the World Cup instead of water, if you will.
That's great.
Yes.
Before we jump into more of the dishes, can you tell us a little bit about how many locations you have across the globe?
Yes, so we have about 8 locations in Brazil. We have 25 here in the United States, and it's our first location in Northern California. We have one in San Diego, Beverly Hills, and we're expanding.
No, that's great. You guys look like you are expanding. So what do we have here? This salad looks quite tasty with some strawberries.
Yeah, so this right here is just a little taste of what we feature on our salad bar. It's our summer salad, and it's endive and spinach salad with the agave vinaigrette with a little bit of feta cheese on top.
Great.
So very nice and light for, you know, you can come do a light meal, or you can, you know, do the full experience with the meats that we feature as well.
Talking about the meats, let's talk to the chef here, who I know is responsible for making
meats.
those meats taste very good and bringing back the customers. Can you share with us?
Yeah, we have one of our chefs right here that he's bringing 2 of the meats to. We have our signature meat we call picanha, and then the other one is the lamb chops. Picanha is the most famous meat for Brazil. It's the premium part of the top sirloin. Has a lot of flavor. So all these meats are cooking with rotisserie style. So he's making the slide for you. You can grab it for him. There's a lot of flavor in there. And in the other side, yeah, so you can see all the flavor tender. And the other side we have the lamb chops. Lamb chops that we are for New Zealand. The lamb is a really nice quality.
So when someone goes to the restaurant and is experiencing this dining
we offer
experience,
16 kinds of meats to your table, all that you can eat, all that you request for the meats.
All you can eat?
All that you can eat, 16 kinds of meat, beef, lamb, pork, and chicken.
And so this is what people do when they come to the table. They come to your table,
all the meats comes directly from the open fire to your table. So we offer all the meats. This is the lamb chops.
This looks amazing. These lamb chops.
Yeah, they're marinated with our secret recipe from Alfago de Chão.
A secret recipe.
Secret recipe, yes, correct.
How many pounds of meat do you go a month?
All depends how many people we have, but we can go like 300 to 500 pounds per night.
Per night.
Yeah.
Wow,
especially
that's a lot of meat.
Sometimes we have special, special occasions. Like sometimes we have like football teams that they can go like 500 pounds in just one.
The football teams, they eat 500 pounds of meat in one night.
Yeah,
wow, that's a lot of meat. And tell us about your outfit. I know you're wearing a traditional gaucho.
Yeah, that's the gaucho. He comes from the south of Brazil. He's a real gaucho, so he can go through to all that he has for the uniform. So bombacha, guayaca. So it's the clothes that the gauchos from south of Brazil they use in the farms of Brazil.
So what is the word fogo de chão? What does that mean?
Fire on the ground.
Fire on the ground.
So yeah.
Great.
That's the way the gauchos cowboys they cook in the south of Brazil on the ground.
On the ground.
So yeah,
now,
they put the beef on the ground
field.
with fire, wood or charcoal, and after that put a stick with that meat and on the fire. Fire on the ground.
And
Fogo de chão.
Here we have an amazing looking beverage made out of papaya. Can you share with us what this contains?
So after you're done enjoying the full experience of meat, of salad bar, of cocktails, whatever, you know, hopefully you saved a little bit of room for the best part, which is dessert.
Dessert.
And what we do here, we have the papaya cream, which is a very traditional dessert in Brazil for the churrascaria restaurants, and it's very simple to make. We take fresh vanilla bean ice cream, we then blend that with papaya, And then we top it off with a little bit of a cassis, which is a currant liqueur. Nice and light, and papaya has a natural enzyme that helps break down a lot of the proteins, so have a little bit of that, and in a couple hours you'll be ready for more meat.
Wow, I guess I'm going to have plenty of that then, so that can help the proteins
Yes.
move quicker and I can eat more.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming to our show and
Thank
sharing
you.
with us our experience. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers?
Yeah, we just want to add that we're really excited to be here in Northern California. We opened our doors at the end of February, and we do have a lunch special that we do during the week. It's at a special price. It's Monday through Friday, 11:30 to 2, and it's $34.50 versus it's a little bit cheaper for dinner. For lunch. We also have a lunch that we do on Sundays from 12 to 9, and it's at the regular dinner rate of $54.50. So and we're open every night for dinner, but that lunch special is just Monday through Friday.
And I'm sure you need reservations to
Yes.
go eat there. You
Yeah.
just can't show up.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're looking to come on the weekends, we book up very fast. You can go to our website at fogo.com and you can make reservations there. You can always just give us a call.
Well, thank you so much again, Gerardo and Chef Mario, for being here with us. And with that,
Thank you.
we'll also learn about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with Claudio Franca at his martial arts studio. Next in our show. Let's go.
Jiu-Jitsu, it's a martial art, like many other martial arts, but the difference to the Jiu-Jitsu, the other martial arts, if you talk about the combat part, the fight part, Jiu-Jitsu, you look for the control before you strike your opponent. Most of the martial arts, karate, box, you go ahead and you strike your opponent, and then after you knock down your opponent, you have control your opponent. Jiu-Jitsu is different. You look first for control. You don't need to strike your opponent. You hold your opponent in one position that you can control him, and from then you attack him. But Jiu-Jitsu, it's much more than martial arts. Jiu-Jitsu, it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? The person starts training Jiu-Jitsu, it's a life change. You know what I mean? They change the diet, they change the way to think. Every day when you train Jiu-Jitsu, every day you think about improve yourself as person and as mental and as physical. You know? Jiu-Jitsu started in India and come from Japan. And it was the practice for the samurais in Japan. In the beginning of the last century, Japanese people started immigration around the world, and some of the best black belts in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu immigration to Brazil, and then you create like a kind of martial arts, not a kind of martial arts. You develop one martial arts like different the original Jiu-Jitsu. They call Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's more refined, it's more technical and more developed. I opened my first school. I trained Jiu-Jitsu all my life, and when I was 22, 1988, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, I opened my first school in Rio, and I stayed there until 1995 when I moved for California, and I opened my first school in Santa Cruz, California, 1995. Then I opened here in San Jose, Campbell, Los Gatos, 1996, and a couple years ago, 2011, I opened the third school in Watsonville, also California. You know, I still learn Jiu-Jitsu, not because I'm black belt 5th degree there, I know everything. Jiu-Jitsu keep improving. I think like anybody in your area, doctors, lawyer, engineer, you need to keep studying, you need to keep improving, and Jiu-Jitsu is not different. You need to always keep learning, and sometimes I have hard time to learn some new techniques, like the students have hard time to learn even other techniques too. And it's very common, you just need to be persistent, you need to just keep studying and you will develop. Good job, nice control. One time, control well.
I got involved in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in 1999 as I was working at that time in a nightclub, and I wanted to be more capable of defending myself. And so I went to Claudio Franca in Santa Cruz and tried my first class and realized that there was a lot that I had to learn, and so I never stopped training. My greatest satisfaction with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is aside from the achievement of getting my black belt, has really just been teaching to other people, watching the adults that we've had come through in jiu-jitsu change their lives. You know, we've had people come and lose 50 pounds and just, you know, change their life, and then watching the kids develop into jiu-jitsu practitioners has been pretty rewarding. And now that I have my family, I'm looking forward to my children doing this. What I like most about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu technique is that it's so open to everybody, different body types, different strengths, that there's no one technique. What works for you won't necessarily work for me or the next person. It's kind of like an artist, we all have the same colors, but what picture are we going to paint with those colors? So Jiu-Jitsu is, and its techniques, kind of leave it up to the artist to do what they want to do with it.
You know, when people look about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, everybody think about fight, about defense yourself, and this is very important. You know what I mean? I always joke about Jiu-Jitsu, it's like insurance. You know what I mean? You don't want to use insurance, but it's important you have. And you know, if one day you need to defend yourself, Jiu-Jitsu is gonna help you, like your insurance is gonna help you. But of course, nobody wants to fight, nobody wants to be involved in combat. And Jiu-Jitsu also help you to avoid that. Okay, but Jiu-Jitsu is much more than that. It's a lifestyle, you know what I mean? When you come here in Jiu-Jitsu, you're gonna change your life in all the aspects. You're gonna change your diet, you're gonna change your health, you're gonna change your attitude, the way you think, your self-esteem, your self-confidence. You know what I mean? It's gonna improve your life in all the aspects. And like I said, it's much more than just a fight. It's a lifestyle. It's something it's definitely gonna make your life better.
Thank you to our audience for supporting Latino Focus. That's all for our show today. And remember that in each community, there's beauty and strength. Gracias y hasta pronto.
Black.